Hello everyone, and welcome back to Enshrouded in 2025. And we're pretty close to being done actually, with the current content. We've pretty much knocked out about 98% of what is available. So we do have a few more things left to do. That's what we're going to be tackling in this episode. And not a whole lot has actually happened in between episodes, mostly just getting prepared for this episode. Alright, so let's get to these last few places that we haven't uncovered yet. So the places we need to go are going to be the far northern part of the Amethyst Summit, and pretty much anywhere that is level 35 that's left. So pretty much the Polaris Falls area, the area underneath Polaris Falls. There's going to be another town just west of Polaris Falls in the Shroud. And I believe you still have a Shroud route Lair to go to, and another town right next to that Shroud Lair. And so all those places are level 35. And I think we also have like a music note or something like that to get, which we'll get pretty soon. Alright, so let's get started. I will head over to the Amethyst Summit, and then we'll get started from probably pretty close to Polaris Falls as the first place to go. Alright, we're at the northernmost part of the Amethyst Summit, and straight ahead is going to be the Polaris Falls area. And it's just right there in that valley. And before we go over there, we're going to go down to this Elixir well, and that one is located right below us. Before we do that though, let's go into this building, and we do have something we can grab in here. Alright, so in here there's going to be a book. It's a piece of lore, and it's called I Want to Ride the Winds. And it's just a note about the upstreams. So you technically could come out here and ride the upstreams and get all the way up to that dragon head up there. But the big thing about that is that you just get 40 experience, so that's pretty good. The place that I need to go now though is down below. And this is pretty close to where we were before, near the forge. And there's not really any red shroud down here, so it should be pretty safe to just land anywhere, as long as we're going towards the Elixir well marker. Okay, we landed on the road. So this road will take us into the Elixir well area. And this place is not too difficult. There is going to be a bunch of enemies. They're all going to be level 35. But inside, it's a pretty short Elixir well. Alright, got level 34. So yeah, just one level away from the current max level, which is 35. I do get some skill points as well. But actually I might wait till I get the skill points from the next couple of routes. At this point, you're pretty close to full build anyways, so a few points won't matter. Oh yeah, let's go up here, and there's a few places we can check out once we're done with this place. I do want to clear a little bit of the enemies up from up here first. Okay, the Elixir well entrance is over here, across this bridge. Yeah, we can avoid fighting right now. Let's just go down here. Alright, that's the respawn spot. I think what we'll do is just go down here and do the well first, and then when we come back up, we can finish the rest of this place. And as far as enemies go, we're going to see some of this creeping shroud. It's going to be pretty common down here. Then your normal other fell enemies will be down here as well, but there's not a whole lot of them though. Yeah, we can just skip this shroud for now. Alright, let's continue on. And yeah, there is a chest up here. Just like a normal chest. And then if we go over here, there is going to be a route. So this route's going to have a boss, and it's going to be the Cyclops. Before we go there, let's do a quick repair, because this weapon's pretty low. Alright, that should be good enough. I think we need some more health. Let me grab some health real quick, then we can go in there. Alright, so we have a Cyclops in here. You also have some plants we gotta take care of as well. But that's pretty much it for this boss area. Alright, the boss is down. Wasn't too bad. Had a little interference from the clouds. But let's see, we got a steel moon axe. And it's level 35 to 38. Yeah, I'm going to salvage this. I'm not going to probably use this at all. Alright, let's break the root. Okay, yeah, so with that, we did get quite a few skill points. Or we do have quite a few skill points that have added up. So yeah, I'll have to do that a little bit. Get some skills assigned. So there's another chest in here that we can go grab. I believe it's up this way. But I need to repair my weapon first because it's broken. Alright, that's done. So yeah, up here, there is going to be a chest. We should have to clear out some stuff to get to it. There we go, there's the last chest. And we get some gray blades, which, you know, probably won't ever use. But yeah, that's going to be it for everything in here, so let's get out of here. So I'm going to go back up to the top. There are some enemies that we missed, and this is a pretty good place to get some of the ruins, the legendary ruins. And the air should be clear up here now. Still daytime too, so that's good. Yeah, so there we go. So we have a nice area we can work with and walk around without getting in the shroud. Okay, so if we look around, you can see there's quite a bit of enemies still. And besides the enemies, you also can find stuff on the ground, like some different bars, potions, stuff like that. So it's not too bad to like roam around here and look for certain items if you need it. Yeah, so on the ground here there's some stuff, and then also you can find some ruins, so yeah, it's a pretty good place to farm up for endgame content. There's some silver ore, and there's a chest as well. So yeah, lots of good stuff. I believe there's like one more silver chest we can find in here. And of course there's more enemies in here we can take out. So what I'm going to do is probably just go ahead and do that, and just roam around here. And then I'm probably going to head out, and we're going to meet up at Polaris Falls, which we've already been. Alright, here I am at Polaris Falls. And yeah, we've been here before, so previous episodes we've been here. It's been much easier now that we're closer to the max level. Need to clear out some enemies really quick. Alright, yeah, so once again, this is a pretty good spot for getting some golden chests. Oh, where did he come from? Yeah, so over here we'll just grab this golden chest and see what we get. Sometimes you get some really good stuff from those. And these are all level 35 chests. Alright, chest is in here. We just need to go through the door. Yeah, it's back here in the fireplace. And yeah, this is a good place to get some possibly legendary stuff. And yeah, so we got a one-handed mace, and it is a lot of blunt damage on it. So yeah, this is a pretty good weapon actually. It's got a good damage split. So yeah, if you get the end game, this is a pretty good place to go farm up. And actually there's another chest we can go get too. It's pretty close to where we are now. And it's in that cave with the spiders. So let's go grab that one real quick. And it is on the way to the lower area where we're going. Alright, here's the spider cave. Yeah, it should be pretty quick to go through this place with this build with magic. Alright, see what we get. And it's just a bow. Alright, it's a rare bow. Nothing really that good. So let's go ahead and grab the stuff here, and then we can go into the shroud down below us, and there's going to be a root. So all this shroud was red before, and now a good chunk of it is actually white, so we can actually go into it since we've upgraded the flame. So there's a town, there's a root, there's a couple of things down here, but yeah, this was all red before, now it's all gray, so we can go into it. There are still some red sections that we have to avoid though. So let's go towards this route, and just below it's a big lake, so we can walk on it and stuff. It's all frozen. So you don't have to worry too much about like the red shroud or any pits down here. But there are quite a few enemies over here too, so just be careful with that. Alright, here's the bottom, and here's the lake. And the root's over here in the cliff. And we're actually right underneath Polaris Falls right now. We're on the edge of this big lake. And on the other side of the big lake is the town that we're going to go to after this. So let's go grab this root. I'm going to clear this place out, and then we'll take down the root. Should be pretty quick. I guess everything. Let's get the root. There's like a little mini essence area that I clear out as well. So that's all done, and then here we go. So we have our root, we have our points. So now that this place is cleared up, we do have a place we can come back to and reset our timer if we need to. The town that we're going to also has a couple places that we can clear our timer for the Shroud. The thing I would come back here for would be maybe the essences. It's a quick little place to get a few essences that you might need. But other than that, there's not really any reason to come back to this specific spot. I still believe the best place for essences in the mountains is going to be the very first one that we went to. It's the Shroud layer in the very far south, below the spire. Alright, so that route is taken care of, and really we only have one more route left in this zone. That's also the last one that we need for the skill points for the current content. Alright, so next we're going to go to this town that's going to be on the edge of this lake. It is a big town. There's also a couple of chests here that you can get to farm up. So it's good to farm up some 35 chests and also some ruins because it's got a lot of fell creatures in it. Looks like I'm cursed actually. I got a fell curse. So my Shroud timer is really low right now because of the fell curse. Okay, so I have to be careful with that. We can take care of that. There's a cure to this, but I don't have the ingredients on me. I don't have the quest either. Once you get this curse, then you get a quest for it. We can do later when we get back to the base. Right, so I'm up here, and there is a cave up here we can go to, and it will take us to the town. You can also walk over the lake to get to the town as well. As far as the cave goes, there's not very many dangerous things in there, just some bugs that might explode. So with the map, this is where we are. Alright, so let's go through the cave, and then we'll get to the bottom, and then we'll make our way out into the town. I do need to just be careful with my Shroud timer because it is going to be short. I'll be able to fix it later once we get to the tower that will get us out of the Shroud. Alright, I'm almost through. I'm going to pop some potions real quick before we get to the town. You can't really add time to your timer until you like reset it. So we'll definitely do that once we get to the tower. I'm not going to go down there. I'm just going to go out now. So the way out is going to be over here through this little cave entrance. Alright, here's the town. It's New Cromville. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to that tower, get our timer reset, and then we'll be able to explore a little bit more. Try to avoid fighting, but there are quite a few enemies here. I had to clear out that brute real quick. But yeah, there's a body over here we can actually loot. There's some lore that explains the situation. Well, we get some circus knives, and we'll find out more about what happened here. Yeah, there should be like a way up though. There's like a grappling hook somewhere. Alright, made it outside the Shroud. Gotta reset my timer, then we'll head back down once that's done. Yeah, unfortunately that curse is going to be a pain, but we can get through it. Goat hammer, okay. Alright, so we got the one chest right here, so that's one. There's one below us too, in the bottom, in the basement area. It's going to take a little bit of time to get down there. Having a greater shroud potion is definitely helpful. We get some extra time added on to our timer. I'm going to go past this red shroud. There's actually going to be a basement door or stairs that we can go to. Alright, yeah, in the basement here is going to be this golden chest. Another good spot to get stuff. Ooh, we get a wand. Okay. This is actually a better wand for us. It's a bunch of lightning damage. So I'm definitely going to switch this out to this one. Our other wand broke. We can actually put a pretty good gem in this one. I'll probably get like a gem that does Shroud restoration maybe. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Yeah, more gem of cold composures. Let's grab all the stuff here, get some ruins, and we'll head back up to the top. So that's the only golden chest that you find in this town, and it's worth going to get because it is pretty much guaranteed to have a gem slot in that item. So probably need to find a legendary version of that wand that I got. And so besides that, there is a silver chest that we can get, and it does contain a cosmetic item. It's actually tied to some lore, and it's tied to that person that we found hung up with the daggers. So I just need to clear my way to that area. So we go to the top of the other building. So we already went to this one. So the other one's going to be to the left here. And there's like a small section that's sticking out of the shroud. This side does have some wraiths in it, so we gotta be careful with those. I got the wraiths, and yeah, these guys also drop legendary ruins. So more ruins to add to the collection. I did hear another wraith that was flying around, but I don't know where it went. Accidentally fell down. I'm gonna back to the top where I was at with the wraiths. There should be a way up to the top from there. Right, so this is the wraith room, and above it should be a way up, like a grappling hook spot. So yeah, we're outside of the shroud now, so we can reset our timer from here. And I don't think there's any way above us. The chest should be over here, though. Yeah, here it is. And there's also some lore as well. So this item here is a cosmetic item. It's a gesture hat. It's actually from Godwin, the guy we're looking for. Antoine Godwin, I believe. So a devious performance. Yes, this is a new quest, Devious Performance. If you look at our map, I think it's pretty much the one we just did. Yeah, it's completed. Okay. That's completed. And there's a repair spot here you can grab. And there might be another thing up here. We're definitely outside the shroud now. This side of this. That's pretty much it for up here. There is one more note we can grab. It's down below, and we can probably fight to it really quickly, and then just grab that note. We get some more ruins and stuff. Alright, that should be all the enemies over here. Get some more legendary ruins. There were lots of elite enemies in this town, with it being such a high level. Yeah, here's the note, and this is what explains what happened to the guy upstairs with the daggers. So that was one of the Godwins, and he did a performance act, which didn't work out too well, and his jester hat was the thing that we recovered. But that's pretty much it for this place. So what we'll do now is go back to the base and also work on this cure for this curse that I have. Alright, back at the base. Let's go ahead and talk to the alchemist now. He has a quest for us. Cursed by the Shroud. Alright, so he wants us to make a cure for the fell curse. I don't think he can craft it himself. I think he just gives us the ability to craft it. Yeah, here it is. It's in our manual crafting section. Yeah, so what we just need is the fresh Shroud spores, which we can get from any of those little blooms that pop up at night. And some water. So yeah, we can go and craft one of these now. Yeah, so pretty easy to get.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Let's go ahead and use that. And now we don't have the curse anymore. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for that quest. So yeah, we can craft it ourselves. And if we run into any of the curses again, we can just go ahead and try to find those spores and then make a potion to get rid of it. You can get the spores from pretty much any zone. I've seen them even in the Springlands. And you can find them more commonly in the Kindle Wastelands. Alright, we're back, and I'm up at the peak. So before we go down and do the final Shroud layer and the final route, I do want to go ahead and wrap up a couple of things that we didn't do yet, but are lower level. So there is a place that has a new dye, and also that music sheet that we didn't get yet. There's also a couple of waypoints we can grab along the way. So it's going to be a little bit of flying involved, and I'm going to have to get some more stamina than what I have now. Then we can head on over, and I'll fly over there. It's going to take a little bit of time to fly. I think we're good. So yeah, we're going to be aiming past the dragon bone pile here, and try to aim for the mountain range behind it. Alright, here's the first place we're going to go. This is the Amethyst Hermit Lodge. There's a quest for this place in the nearby fortress that we missed, but it's fine. You can get the quest from this note as well. So this is a note for Emily, and it's a note about the Amethyst Hermit. Now, I believe there's 3 of these notes for the Amethyst Hermit, but we'll find other ones later. But this leads to this dye here, and this dye is for the amethyst color. And that's pretty much it for that place. The next place we're going to go to is right down here. It's another tomb. Alright, so this tomb is right over here, and pretty much this tomb is for a new block. As you can see, there's lots of spider webs, so this is going to be a spider tomb. It's not too big, but it is a little bit lengthy. And it's also low level, because we're in a low level area. And we can repair, which is good. So yeah, besides the block, there's going to be a couple of chests in here. Nothing too important though. We probably should have came here whenever we did the nearby Balefire garrison. Alright, this is the first chest, and this is really it for this level. And yeah, nothing really that good from here. And over here is like a dead end, so it's just a block of ice. So we can't really do much in there. We'll have to go back out the way we came. Yeah, so we just go across the spikes, and then we have to go down to the next level below us. And that's going to be around the corner. There's another chest, another silver chest, and yeah, nothing really good from here, just a ring. Go around here, and there's going to be some more enemies, so we'll have to clear these out as well. Alright, here's the way down, and then we have another way down coming up as well, and that's the lowest level, so we just need to go through this little section here, then we'll be pretty much at that room. Alright, made it to the room. So yeah, this is going to be the block that we're looking for. And this is the Midnight Tomb block, which is the block you see here. Though this one is frozen. So it doesn't quite look the same, but almost the same. Yeah, and this is what it looks like when you have it as a floor. So yeah, overall it's a pretty good looking block. Good accent block at least. Let's see if we can get a better light. Yeah, overall it's pretty good. And this is what you come down here for. So that's going to be it for this area. The next place we need to go is going to be kind of far away, so I'm actually going to probably teleport back to the summit. Alright, the next place we're going to go is to the Gateway Outpost Driffa, which is going to be for a quest for Godwin's cousin. Though it is in the same general area that we were just at, just a little bit further away. So it's probably going to take a minute to get over there. Alright, so we made it to the top of this tower here. This is where we need to go in order to complete the quest. Yes, here's some lore about the Albanese Summit Prison. So if we look at our quest, we can see the quest that we're trying to do is going to be this one right here. So we're looking for Oscar Godwin's cousin, who is Anton Godwin. And yeah, this is a lower level area, it's level 28. It's probably not too many good drops, but we need to go down here in order to find him. And here's Anton. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that quest. So when we get back to the base, we can drop him down. Alright, so let's go to the next place, and that's going to be up to the area above us. You can kind of see the broken bridge that's off in a distance. But there really isn't a way to get up there from over here, at least not that I'm aware of. So we have to go back up to the top, and then fly down to this area once again, and aim for that broken bridge. Alright, so here's that bridge that we saw just a few minutes ago. and there's an updraft that will take us across. And this will take us to get to the last music note. You can walk up here. There's possible to get through a path, but it is a very long walk. And I would highly recommend flying like we just did. Even while flying, it does take quite a bit to get over here. It's pretty much in the corner of the Amethyst Summits. We just need to keep going across the bridge, and there's going to be a path that we can follow to get to the small watchtower. That's just a small watchtower, and there's going to be a bird up top that we need to kill, and that nest is going to be the music note. So we just need to climb up, and this place is pretty low level, so it's definitely below our level. There we go, and this is the music note. So this is the final one. This one is called Lonely at the Top. And that's going to be all the music notes for the Amethyst Summits. That pretty much is it for all the quests on the southeast side of the Amethyst Summits. Alright, so now let's go ahead and tackle the last two places we need to go to, which is the Root and the Shroud Lair. We'll have to head back up to the northern part, and then we can fly down from there. Alright, flew down to the obelisk, so this is where we are, right above the town. So we need to go down here and just jump down. There's going to be a route down here and quite a few enemies. This is all level 35 as well. Also going to be a golden chest we can grab after we're done with the route. Yeah, you could destroy this thing here, or even before you get to the dragon, you can actually break this route as well. But it is right down here. Alright, let's go ahead and break the route, and we can actually see what's going on around us. Yeah, this being the last route, you do get an achievement for breaking this one. So we pretty much have all the points that we can accumulate, minus the final level. But yeah, let's go grab these chests, and then we can move on to the lair. So yeah, there's a chest over here. This one is silver, but it is level 35. So we may get something good from it. And I get a frost wand. Okay. Yeah, be careful because there are some nests around here. You want to take those out so you don't get swarmed. There also are some wraiths flying around. Just trying to find them. There's also the big balloon guys too you need to worry about. Oh, there's a wraith right there. And some bugs. So over here is a bridge, and there's going to be a bunch of wraiths over here, and there's also going to be a room that contains a golden chest. This chest is level 35, so definitely worth grabbing. Yeah, it's nighttime now, which is unfortunate. But I do hear another wraith somewhere around here. But it is hard to see right now. There's quite a few enemies down below us as well, so I don't want to go down there right now. Oh, I see. There's two of them right there. Alright, here's a chest. And we get a Lumen Shade Axe. So it is legendary, and it's cutting in Shroud damage. And yeah, that's pretty much it for over here. We did get quite a bit of legendary ruins from this area. Alright, it's dark. I'm going to go ahead and sleep through it, and then we'll come back and start the Shroud layer. Alright, back up at the obelisk. So you're looking down almost the same direction as the place we were just at. So there's a garrison right by us. And we want to aim for this spot right here. There's actually 2 ways in we can go to. There's one that's on this little lake. There's a cave there. So I'm going to go in through the main door, and then just going to go straight down here. Alright, I think we're here. Yeah, it's right over here. So this is the main entrance. So as far as the layout goes, this place is almost like a spiral. It just spirals down to the lake below us. There's a bunch of ice in here too. And there's also going to be those Shroud clouds we need to deal with. Yeah, those clouds take a while to kill, so I actually might try to avoid them if I can. Alright, so behind us is going to be the top, so we're just going to keep on working our way down towards the next level. If you need to reset your timer, it's probably take you like 3 or 4 minutes to get out of the Shroud. So keep that in mind if you're getting low on time. But you might be able to find some timer restores in here. I'd say overall, there's quite a bit of essence in here. You can find a lot of spots with it in here. But once again, the first spot we went to when we first got to the Amethyst Summits is still the best spot. I already run past this Shroud clouds and go the direction that they came from. Alright, so this is the open area. This is going to take us down even further. We can go across this ice cliff here, but I do want to go over here first. There's going to be a spot we can get some essences from. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to spend too much time in here, so I'm just going to skip that. Let's just go down towards the bottom area. There's only like 1 gold chest in here that we need to get anyways. I'm going to skip this Shroud Time Restorer. And it just takes us down even further. This is like a ramp. At the bottom of these ramps, there's going to be quite a few enemies, so just be careful. You'll be fighting for a little while. Alright, so there's going to be enemies off in the distance. There's also going to be enemies above us that appear when we start fighting. Now that this place is cleared out, we definitely want to break the spawners as well. And behind these spawners is going to be a lot of essences. There's actually 2 ways in. There's one right here, and there's going to be one further down. And up here there's probably going to be some more enemies too we need to clear out. And there's a good chance you get some legendary ruins from these guys. Yeah, I don't go too far in here. Just want to see if there's anybody over here. Looks like there's just a couple enemies up here, and that's about it. Alright, while we're over here, I'm going to get this golden chest. It's right around the corner. And here it is. And we get some daggers. Alright. Alright, before we go to the next section, I do want to show you the essence area. One thing I didn't look for is legendary guys over here. They do shine a little bit brighter than the other ones. So it should be pretty easy to spot. Yeah, I didn't see any. So yeah, let's go to the essence area, and I'll show you that real quick. Lots of essences in here, and there's lots of eyeball guys in here as well. Yeah, going through these side rooms could take up a while, so you might want to be careful with your timer. I think what I'll do is I'll actually clear this place out, and then I'll come back in here off camera and then grab the essences later. And this is the end of this area. So we just need a breakthrough. We can get to the outside. And out here, we're on the far end of the icy area. And straight ahead will take us down to the next section. So when I first got down the ramp, this is where all the guys were at that I was attacking. And I'm gonna grab this restore timer. And there's quite a few legendary ruins from a lot of these guys. Many of them are elites. After we get these ruins, we can go down to the next section. And further down the ice is going to be where we came in. On the other side of this wall is where the essences are. That's where we cleared out. And this is the exit from that section. And the way down is going to be over here. So this right here will take you back up top towards the main entrance area. So we don't need to go that way. We can go down this way. Yes, there is the way down. It's just another ice ramp. And it's kind of like the one we went through earlier. It's going to do a little bit of repairs for the wand before we go down. And at the bottom, we're going to have to fight a bunch of enemies again. Alright, in this level behind the spawners, there's going to be even more essences, so you get quite a few from this place. You do need to clear out a lot of these eyeballs. So I'm going to go through and clear it out again. Yeah, I would say if you have like 5 minutes or more, you probably don't need these restore timers. You can save them for later. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that section. And to the right there is where we have to go down. And to the left here is where we came in from. There's a ramp, and then this is where we entered into the essence area. And just looped around here. This one isn't that big. So yeah, let's go down to the bottom now. This is going to be the bottom floor. Oh wait, before we do that, I do want to show you one thing. I've showed this before. If you have a blink, you can actually get up these ice ramps. So if you try running, you're going to lose momentum. But if you have blink, you can pretty much jump up these. So if you need to go back up, this is the way to do it. Alright, so this is going to be the last section, and there's going to be quite a few enemies at the bottom of this. And the majority of them are going to be elites. Alright, yeah, and back here is more essences, so quite a few from this area. With all the elites, there's actually quite a bit of legendary ruins here too. I'd say overall this is a pretty good place for weapon upgrades. If you're trying to go for like level 40 gems and max out abilities on them. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this place. And this is the exit right here, so you can go out and go to the next section. But I do want to go and grab these essences that I missed, so I'm going to go do that. Then I'll just jump ahead and then we can leave this area, and I'll show you how to get out of here. Alright, back. And yeah, we got essences and a bunch of ruins. So let's go ahead and leave this place. So through the door is going to be the lake. And if you look up, you can see the mountain there. There's multiple ways out of the Shroud. I'd prefer to go this way, actually. It takes you up towards the level 35 gem forge. And towards a way out of the Shroud. Yeah, once you find this road, it should be able to take you towards a more familiar landmark. And like I said before at the beginning, it's going to take a couple of minutes to get out of here. But there is a place we can reset our timer, which is right over here. So it's a respawn point. And from this point, it's pretty easy to find the way out. And just for reference, this is where we are. So this is the lake that we came out from, and we just worked our way up the hill. towards the pathway. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm going to head back to the base now. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. So, a quick recap. Pretty much done everything in the Northern Valley now, which includes all the routes, all the Shroud layers, the forges, and uncovered all the towns. We also, throughout this series, did all of the major quests for the world, so the Embervale quests. I think just a few personal quests that are left to do, but that is all the content for the Albany Summits at this point. And I say at this point because there may be new content in the future that isn't available just yet. One of those things being like the Hollow Halls might be fleshed out a little bit more. When it does happen, then I'll add more videos to include that new content. And any new content I'll address as it comes out, but I don't want to spend too much time speculating on what that might be. But I did want to take a minute and spend that on what to do when you're done with the current content. So there's still a few more things left to do as far as personal quests goes. That's mostly cosmetic stuff. If you're done with all that stuff, I would say you can work on better gear, so better items. In the past 2 episodes, I did show you where to go to farm up some good items. So you can find some golden chests that are level 35 and get some pretty good weapons from them. And then also the gem forge that's level 40 is also available, so you can get the gems maxed out at level 40. I'd also say working on a variety of gems is probably better too. Who knows what buffs they might give the gems in the future. So having different gems to switch out could be pretty handy. And besides just getting a better gear and better character stats, you can also just work on the base. There's lots of places you can build up, and there's lots of base ideas floating around in various different places. And I have a video about my personal favorite place to build at, which is the place that I built my base at on this series. And just for reference, this is where that place is, and I've had people ask before, and this is the place that I built at. I think it's going to be a future-proof place if they do add in some kind of a raid system, because it is surrounded by Shroud and it's surrounded by high cliffs. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you for watching. I appreciate all your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.